Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am happy to welcome you all for our online learning. Class 12, subject Biozoology, Chapter 2, Human Reproduction. Today, we are going to discuss about fertilization and implantation. Children, you know very well, fertilization is nothing but fusion of gametes. The same thing, fertilization is nothing but fusion of haploid sperm with haploid ovum to form a diploid zygote or a fertilized egg. Once again I am repeating, fertilization occurs when the haploid sperm fused with haploid ovum to form a fertilized egg or zygote. The zygote is diploid in nature. Clear? The sperm deposited in the female reproductive tract, that is external genitalia, undergoes capacitation. Capacitation is the nothing but active movement. Capacitation is nothing but active movement. Once the sperm is deposited on the female genital tract, the sperm undergoes capacitation. That means it takes place some biochemical events as well as it penetrates into the fertilized egg. Then fertilization occurs only if the ovum and sperms are transported simultaneously to the umbellary isthmic junction of the fallopian tube. You know very well, fallopian tube is nothing but oviduct, that is the site of fertilization. Once the egg is released from the ovaries, that egg or the ovum is collected by a finger-like projection called fimbriae. After that, the egg slowly moves to the infundibulum, then it reaches the umbellary isthmic region. Okay. So, the fertilization occurs when both male gamete and female gamete transport simultaneously to the umbellary isthmic junction to form a diploid zygote. Clear, children? Yes. Before a sperm can enter into the egg is nothing but ovum. It must penetrate the multiple layers of granulosa. You know very well, ovum has 3 layers. The outer granular layer called corona radiata. Corona radiata, this is the outer layer, and then middle layer is said to be pellucida, and third one is corona petalline membrane. So, these 3 layers are surrounded. The ovum is surrounded by 3 layers. Once the sperm enters into the egg, the egg has to be penetrate to the multiple layers of granulosa layers. The follicular cells are held together by a adhesive cementing substance. Adhesive is nothing but sticky. A sticky cementing substance called hyaluronic acid. So, the granulosa cells are held together, they joined together, they stick together with a substance called hyaluronic acid. You know very well, the sperm contains 3 important parts. One is called head region, another one is middle region, middle part, and another one is tail region. This is the head. The egg contains a flat oval shaped nucleus. Above the nucleus, a point tip like structure that is called acrosome. Clear, children? Once the sperm reaches the multiple layer of the ovum, there will be an interaction between the sperm and the layers of the ovum. After that, the acrosome contains the proteolytic enzyme hyaluronidase. This enzyme cleaves the corona radiata. Clear, children? See here, the acrosomal membrane disintegrates, that means break. From here, the proteolytic enzyme called hyaluronidase is liberated, and through which the sperm is easily enter into the ovum and fertilization takes place. Clear? So, this process is called acrosomal reaction. Acrosome is nothing but a small tip-like structure present on the top of the nucleus. This acrosome contains an enzyme called hyaluronidase. This particular enzyme cleaves the protein membrane, hence it is called as proteolytic enzyme. This enzyme breaks the membrane of the ovum, that is called corona radiata. After that, sperm easily enters through the corona radiata and finally enters into the ovum. Clear? This process is called acrosomal reaction. See the diagram here. This is the structure of the egg, that is ovum. This is called sperm. See, the sperm migrates through the coat of follicular cells and binds to the receptor molecules in the zona pellucida of the egg. After that, this induce the acrosome reaction. Once the sperm reaches the membrane of the ovum, the reaction starts. What reaction? Acrosomal reaction, in which that acrosome release the enzyme called hyaluronidase. Clear? Once again I am repeating, the binding induce the acrosome reaction, in which the sperm releases the enzyme called hyaluronidase into the zona pellucida. Then breakdown of zona pellucida. This is the breakdown of zona pellucida. See here, the blue color picture, blue color layer is called zona pellucida. This is called corona radiata, outer membrane, granular cells. It is made up of granular cells. The second layer is called zona pellucida. Once the reaction takes place, there may be a chance of breakdown of zona pellucida by hyaluronidase enzyme, and after that the sperm easily enters into the ovum. Clear? The next fourth step, the nucleus and other components of the sperm enters into the egg. After that, the cortical granules forms a barrier called fertilization membrane. It is very, very important. Once the sperm enters into the egg, the cortical granules forms a barrier over the ovum to prevent the entry of other sperms. Clear? So, the cortical granules forms a barrier called the fertilization barrier or fertilization membrane, which now functions as a block of polyspermy. Only one sperm can enter into the ovum, and after entry of the sperm into the ovum, the cortical granules forms a barrier, that is called fertilization membrane, to prevent the entry of other sperms. Clear? See, once the fertilization is accomplished, what is the meaning of accomplished? Over. The cortical granules from the cytoplasm of the ovum form a barrier. Barrier is nothing but membrane. What is the name of the barrier? That is called the fertilization membrane around the ovum and prevent the further penetration of other sperms. This process is said to be, thus the polyspermy, poly means many sperms is prevented, the entry of many sperms is prevented, that is called polyspermy. Okay. Next, after that, once the sperm goes inside the ovum, now the fertilization takes place. What will happen? The haploid sperm fused with haploid ovum to form a zygote. Zygote is diploid in nature, it is a single cell. After that, the first cleavage produced to form a two identical cell called blastomeres. Zygote is divided into blastomeres. So, the zygote, how the zygote will produce fusion of male gamete and female gamete. Once the zygote is formed after fertilization, it is divided. The zygote is a single cell. The cell divides into two identical cells called blastomeres. Everything, all these actions takes place in the umbellary and isthmus junction. That is nothing but in the fallopian tube. Clear? Yes. These is nothing but blastomeres produce 2 to 4 cells, 4 to 8 cells and so on. That division takes place, and after 72 hours, that means after 3 days of fertilization, a loose collection of cells form a berry shaped. See here, you know very well, you know the structure of berry. This is a berry shaped. The berry shaped cluster of 16 or more cells called morula, M-O-R-U-L-A. Once again I am repeating, after 3 days, that is 72 hours of fertilization, a loose collection of cells form a berry shaped cluster of 16 or more cells called morula, M-O-R-U-L-A. Clear? See the structure of female reproductive organ. This is ovary. Once the egg is released from the this is a uterus. The egg is released, secondary oocyte or ovum is released from the ovary, is collected by a structure called fimbriae, okay, a finger like projection, and then it slowly moves to the infundibulum and it reaches to umbula isthmus junction. Now the sperm enters and simultaneously it reaches to this junction. There may have a chance of fertilization, fusion of sperm and ovum to form a fertilized egg called zygote. Fertilized egg is nothing but zygote. After that, it is changed into 4 cell stage, and then after 3 days, that is after 72 hours of fertilization, it will change into 16 or more cell stage, that is called morula, M-O-R-U-L-A. Then it is slowly transported and it is implanted on the uterine wall, that is uterus wall, that is called implantation. Clear, children? Under the influence of progesterone hormone, the smooth muscles of the fallopian tube relax. Why the fallopian tube is relaxed? If it is relaxed means the morula, M-O-R-U-L-A, once the fallopian tube relax, the morula slowly comes down and it has to implant on the walls of the uterine. Clear? See, under the influence of progesterone hormone, the smooth muscles of fallopian tube relax and dividing embryo takes 4 to 5 days to move through the fallopian tube into the uterine cavity, and finally it gets implanted in the uterus wall, that is called the uterine wall. So, it takes 4 to 5 days from the fallopian tube to the uterine wall, that is called the uterus wall. Okay. So, at this point the embryo consists of a fluid filled hollow ball of 100 cells. Once it reaches to the uterus wall, then it develops as 100 cells called blastocyst. So, conversion of morula into blastocyst, it takes 4 to 5 days. Clear? The blastocyst means 100 cell stage. It is implanted in the uterus wall. Okay. So, the blastocyst is composed of single layer of large flattened cells called trophoblast and small cluster of 20 to 30 rounded cells called inner mass cells. So, blastocyst is nothing but 100 cell stage. This 100 cell stage is composed of single layer of large flattened cells as well as a small clusters of 20 to 30 cells, rounded cells called the inner cell mass. The inner cell mass of blastocysts develops into the embryo and became embedded in the endometrium. Endometrium is nothing but walls of the uterus. Endometrium of the uterus. Once again I am repeating, the inner mass cell of blastocyst develops into the embryo. So, inner mass cell only develops into embryo and became embedded in the endometrium of uterus. This process is called implantation. Implantation is nothing but attachment. Attachment of embryo in the uterine wall, that is endometrium of the uterus. Okay. So, this process is called implantation and it results in pregnancy. Once the embryo is implanted in the uterus wall, later on it continues as and gives a childbirth. Okay. If the fertilized ovum is implanted outside the uterus, usually fertilization takes place only in the fallopian tube. After that, it slowly migrated or slowly transported and it is implanted on the uterus wall. If the fertilized ovum is implanted outside the uterus, especially the fallopian tube, it results in ectopic pregnancy, that is called ectopic pregnancy. About 95% of ectopic pregnancy occurs only in the fallopian tube. Fallopian tube is not a site for the development of embryo, it is a site for fertilization. Clear? Once again I am repeating, fallopian tube is a site for fertilization, not for the development of embryo. The development of embryo takes place only in the uterus. Okay. So, 95% of ectopic pregnancy occurs in the fallopian tube. That results in the death of the fetus. Once again I am repeating, The growth of the embryo may cause internal bleeding, infection, and in some cases even death also occurs, and due to the rupture of fallopian tube. If the development of embryo takes place in the fallopian tube, that leads to internal bleeding, infection, as well as in some cases that even death also occurs due to the rupture of fallopian tube. Clear? Thank you children. We will see in the next class.